Hi, I'm Alex Lightman, host of the Energy for Good podcast. With this podcast, we seek to provide news and views that you can use to help build a cleaner, better world. And the idea of today's segment is that we're going to talk about the connection between sensors that will detect greenhouse gases and the Internet of Things, and how that might be able to bring about a world of clean energy. My guest today is Dr. Kamil Agi. Dr. Agi is the chairman and CEO of SensorComm Technologies, which has an Internet of Things play, a sensor that will detect nitrous oxides, or NOx. And nitrous oxide is a very virulent greenhouse gas. It's 298 times as potent a greenhouse gas as carbon dioxide. So what we're going to find out today in the next few minutes is how is it that use of a sensor that can measure NOx to parts per billion, how is that going to lead us to a world of clean energy? So, Dr. Agi, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Alex. It's good to be here.
What does SensorComm do?
So SensorComm manufactures Internet of Things based NOx sensors. So what that means essentially is that it's just a wireless sensor. And with this wireless sensor, we have the ability to measure NOx down to very, very low levels. And you were talking about parts per billion. And that's absolutely true. So what we've been able to do is we've been able to achieve scientific instrumentation levels of measurement in a very cost-effective package.
So instead of a scientific instrument that costs tens of thousands of dollars, you have something that costs tens of dollars but has that level of sensitivity, and you can stick it into cars, trucks, buses, boats, planes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So if we put these sensors into many of our vehicles, we have over 1 billion cars around the world, how will that lead us to a world of clean energy? How will that lead us towards more solar?
So SensorComm has developed a method to improve air quality. And we don't directly improve air quality, but that's the methodology that we call it the Michi method. And what the Michi method does is it starts with measurement, M, I, which is identification of who the culprits are. It goes to control, so controlling the emissions. And then, of course, and the final one is actually improvement. And the key to the Michi method is that it actually looks like a snowball. So what you do is if you're able to measure and not stop the snowball from moving because of technology limitations, what you can do now is really gain momentum to gain improvements in air quality.
Great. Are there any laws or policies on the books that will get people to start using NOx sensors, especially very sensitive NOx sensors like yours?
Of course. The big thing is right now is in Europe, right? Euro 6 is the new standard that came out in September 2014. And what that did was it actually took Europe down below what the regulations are in the US. So there's a fine level of competition going on between Europe and US. So every 2 years, Europe tends to exceed. 2 years later, the US exceeds the regulations.
So there's competition to see who can actually reduce NOx the most.
Correct.
Oh, what a fantastic kind of arms race.
We like that. Gamification.
Nice. Dr. Agi, there's a market for carbon credits. Is there a market for NOx credits?
There is. It's a much smaller one. And the reason that it's small and it's nascent is two things, right? Number one is that it's difficult to measure NOx at low levels. And so giving credit to somebody that you can't measure brings you kind of back to where the carbon credits were when it first started, where people were gaming the system because they were validating themselves, right? Self-proclamation that this is the kind of credits that you're offering. But with our capability, you can now actually measure specifically what the levels are, in which case now credits become a viable source of income and revenue for various organizations.
Excellent. If people want to try this out, or if people want to engage with your company, how would they go about it?
So you can go to our website at www.sensorcommtech.com, spelled sensorcomm.tech.com, or they can call down to the office at 415-857-0847.
Great. Dr. Agi, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching our podcast, Energy for Good. We'll see you next time.